What's up, guys? Today I'm just going to do an accuracy test with my Glock 19 Generation 3 Non Blowback BB pistol. This is a replica firearm from Umarex, licensed by Glock. I've shown it in previous videos. I have it hooked up to a remote line adapter. This is a Crossman DPMS. It's called bulk fill adapter. It's basically just like a pipe that fits in here where the CO2 normally goes, and it secures up against the seal in there, and the threads match. So you put that in there and you can hook it up to a remote line and have it on a HPA tank or a CO2 tank or some other random gas that you might have. So this is on HPA. It's only like 800 psi output. I think it's like 700. And I have BBs, just normal ass steel BBs, 4.5 millimeter, 0.177 inch or caliber. I'm gonna be shooting this target. I'll probably do one magazine at this, switch out the target, do another magazine, and I am 10 footsteps away from that box. So this is roughly 30 feet. I'm gonna be standing kind of behind this with my tripod on top of this wooden block. So yeah, it's probably 30 feet or 33 feet. So I already have this aired up, and I have my two magazines right here. You do have to use this airline correctly, you do have to pull the plastic cover off the bottom of your magazine, because this will get in the way of the airline. So this, you can easily remove this. I'll show you how to do that at the end of the video. It's pretty easy. I forgot to mention, to get that pipe, that remote line adapter in there, you obviously have to remove the set screw that comes with your Glock 19, and you just use the wrench that's on the back of the handle. It's really easy to do. So I'm just using the iron sights. There's no way to attach a sight or anything on this. This does not have a plate on top to like switch out sights or anything. So I'm just iron sighting this, and I'm just gonna pop my mag in and get it going. So see if I can hit this thing, and I think it's a 15 shot mag. So let's see how this goes. It was on safe, now it's off safe. So that's out of rounds. I will go walk to that target right now. I just have this with me. I took the mag out, so nothing's in here. So I was pretty much aiming dead center on his like mouth right here, and I have kind of a spread pattern, but that's not bad for being 30 feet away and using a short barrel BB pistol. But all of them hit it. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16 hits. So I'm going to switch out this paper, and I'll be right back. Alright, you guys, new target. Still standing back here, holding this with two hands, and lining up the sights with the face, tongue. So I think I was out of shots 2 shots ago. I'm gonna go check out this target. I like this Glock 19 Gen 3. Doesn't have the blowback action, but it does have the high speed. Advertised on the box, it says it hits 410 feet per second with the CO2 cartridge, and I have chronographed it, and it does exceed that sometimes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So all of them hit it. I think it's a 16 shot clip or mag. I'll measure this, the width of the grouping, and I'll compare it with my first mag. I'll do one more magazine and then I'll end this video. Alright, you guys, new target. I'm going to try shooting this one-handed, holding the camera, and see if I can get a hit on this thing. So that's it. Took the mag out. I'll show you an issue I have with the magazine sometimes. It's a nice little marker. It just has a couple things that I don't really like about it. They're not huge issues, but they are just kind of design flaws, I guess. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I think there's 2 right here, so 16. So I hit it every shot. Kind of missed him right here. It's like barely on the spike on his back, but this is a normal 8.5 by 11 inch piece of paper. Something you'd use in a printer or something. Pretty small target from that far away. And I will be right back. All right, last chance, or last target. I moved it 2 steps closer, so that's probably about 8 steps, but since I'm behind this thing, I'm about 9 steps away. So I'm still going to do one-handed aiming. I'll see if my grouping's any better. That's it, shots. It's actually not bad. From that up closer, I'm a bit more consistent. It seems to be hitting to the left side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I think this is 2 right here, so that's 16. So all of them hit. I got 2 in the bullseye. A lot of them in the 8 and 7 circle, and like 2 on the 6 or 3. 1, 2, 3. So got better grouping closer, but I imagined it would be that way. If I was using 2 hands, I'd probably be slightly better. And yeah, I'm just using the sights on this because that's all you can really do with this thing. I'll show you the issue I have with the magazines right now. So first of all, this thing barely uses any air. I think I had like 2500 on my gauge before I started, and I used 4 magazines, so probably 4 times 16 is like 64. Probably took 70 shots because I had a couple dry fires, but I had to degas this. So the only way to do that is to basically empty out your mag, point it in safe direction, and just keep firing. Once you stop hearing the pop, the louder pop, that's when it's out of pressure. So it's pretty much out of pressure. If you remove this when it has pressure, that will be much more loud and aggressive, and you could possibly blow your O-ring out of this quick disconnect. It's a lot easier to just keep pulling the trigger or turn off your valve and disconnect this. It's easier to do that versus trying to replace this O-ring, because this O-ring is kind of a pain in the butt to put away or to replace. And then usually when I tighten this in, I just do it with my fingers. I don't use a wrench or anything. It's never come loose on me. I don't have like an insanely strong grip or anything, but I just pop it in there, and it's been fine. It hasn't come loose or anything like that while I've been using it. I'm also not like twisting it around or anything like that. I'm trying to keep it straight. Like whenever it has the airline on it, I'm not trying to like twist it all crazy and stuff. Just kind of being safe, because that if that line was to come off, that shit will go and like whip all over the place, and it could hit you. So you just want to be careful with that. If you want to use a wrench, go ahead, but just don't wrench it down too hard, because you'll probably end up snapping something in here. I'll go inside and show you the problem I have with the magazines. What's up, guys? Back in the house. So this is the Glock 19 Gen 3. This is the magazine. So to remove this thing, this is how it's going to look basically all the time. And you can't just like, sometimes you can, because I work mine in so much, you can just push this. But if yours are really new or you've never moved them before, there's a little step right here, and you have to kind of like push this in or like down with your finger, and then push this that way. So I usually get my thumb in there and put pressure downwards, and then I can push the plastic thing off. You can even take it off. There's just like a little track in here and a indentation kind of thing. And the magazine, the way it's shaped, sorry, this isn't coming out that clear. The way the magazine is shaped, there's that little step right here, and that catches on this empty space. So that's why it's giving you a little bit of a tough time. If you've never taken this off, it'll be a little bit resistant to doing that. And yeah, same thing with my other mag. You just kind of push your finger in there and push it off. So that's easy to do. And if you do not do that, you won't be able to access the set screw or the remote line thing. That pipe I had sticking out of this, that pipe is from Pyramid Air. I think AirGunDepot has it too. A couple other places have it. It's called a Air Venturi Crossman DPMS SBR bulk fill adapter. It's like 20 bucks. They make a couple different ones for other BB pistols and rifles, and I think they have like 3 different ones. Anyways, I measured this, and grouping on this one, this is with the two-handed 10 paces away. It was about 5 inches across. So I circled all the marks, and from here to here is about 5 inches, and had about a 3-inch up and down spread. So from here to here is 3 inches. So this was, yeah, all 16 hit from 10 paces away. Almost the same on my, I think this was the first one. It was about 5 1/4 gap across, and about 3 3/4 up and down. From here to here, it's like 3 1/2. But yeah, it's just a BB pistol, short barrel. I've already taken this apart in previous videos and done like a whole maintenance vid kind of thing on it. This is with my 10 paces single hand. I had a little bit higher of a grouping, like a larger gap. So this is 5 3/4 from here to here, and 3 1/2 inches from like the lowest and tallest, which is, I think, was these two. Yeah, 3 1/2. So from here to there was 3 1/2 inches. This is with single hand, and this was 10 paces away. And then this was single hand with 8 paces away. It was a little bit closer as far as the grouping. 4 1/2 inches across. So from here to here, I think, was the biggest gap, and that's 4 1/2 inches. And then the up and down was like 3 1/2 inches. I think that's from here to here. Or no, from this mark to here is about 3 1/2 inches. It's hard to show. Here is 3 1/2, and then this one is kind of where it's at. So I know most people just show the largest gap, but I like to see how close the group was, like up and down too. That might not be the right way to do it, but it's just what I do sometimes. So yeah, all 16 hit. The issue I have with these mags every once in a while, the issue I have is sometimes when I load them up with BBs, this spring is very strong, and the follower spring, and it pushes up, and it pushes this little, it's like a detent that holds the BBs in the barrel, it pushes that up, and sometimes all the BBs come flying out. So I'm gonna load this really quick. When I was outside, I was trying to make it do it, but it wasn't doing it. So I'll see if it does it in here. So typically, you know, you have your BBs loaded in here, and you can see them all in there. I have this follower guide still on here, and what I've been doing kind of recently is leaving the follower guide locked in and just popping this in quickly, and this will end up dislodging and putting pressure on the spring to push the BBs up into the breech. So the normal way to do it would be just to put your follower spring over, or push your follower guide back over, and sometimes the spring just puts too much pressure on the BBs, and sometimes they all pop out. I have my finger covering right now, so I'm just going to move my finger and see if they all come flying out. So it did not do it. I do have 2 magazines though. My original magazine seemed to like do it way easier, where everything just goes and flies out. So when I was outside, it wasn't wanting to do it. I'm going to try it on my second mag. I don't know which one is the newer one and which one's the old one, because I only had this marker for like, at the time when I bought my second mag, I only had this thing for like 2 weeks. So I'm going to push this one, and it just pushed them all out. So that happens every once in a while. And yeah, it's just kind of annoying sometimes, because you load up this thing. It's not fast to load up, because you have to put that follower guide down and push them in from the front one at a time, or you put them into this little hole right here, and it's not fast by any means, unless you're like, I mean, I've tried using my speed loader in this, but sometimes the follower will dislodge itself, and then I get BBs flying all over the place. And you cannot remove the spring and like cut it or anything, because these magazines are actually like riveted together like permanently. There's no screws or like a way to pop them open from what I see. So I'm going to hold my finger on this again. This is the one that just spit out all the rounds. Push this down. I'm holding it down so they'll fly into the BB canister. I'm slowly moving my finger away, but I can feel like it wants to push them out. So that time it didn't. But other times I tried to load this, and then all the BBs will just like dislodge. So yeah, that's the only thing I have a gripe about this one, is that these magazines, I feel like the spring is just too strong, and it's not really pushing that much weight, because these BBs don't weigh that much. They weigh like, altogether this probably weighs like 5 grams or something, and it doesn't need to be that strong. But yeah, it all has to do with this little detent thing right here that holds the balls in. Mine's not damaged or anything. It's just there's a spring in here, and you cannot mess with the spring or anything, this follower spring or this thing, or like do anything to this, because these little contact points, they look like they're like permanently welded. And if I flip this over, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those little like rivet things. If you flip this over, you don't see anything. It's just smooth on this side, so you can't get in there and like modify it. So these magazines are cheap, since there's not an air valve or anything, extra pieces like CO2 housing, like none of that is in these magazines, because the other Glocks, they have the CO2 housed in the mag. This one is not like that. The CO2 is in the back of the handle. So these are cheap. These are like $12 or $15. But you can't really change anything on them. So I can't cut the spring to make it a little bit weaker. I can't switch out the spring. If this detent thing ends up breaking, you just got to get a new one, like buy a new mag. So yeah, that's like the only gripe I have with this BB pistol, is that these magazines are just kind of not poorly designed, but that follower spring is just a little bit too strong, and you cannot, as far as I know, I can't figure out a way to weaken this unless I just leave BBs in here and leave pressure on this for like weeks at a time. But yeah, that's the only thing I have issue with this thing, but it works overall pretty good. I haven't had any problems with this, like not wanting to fire or leaking or something. As long as you keep everything oiled up, put silicone oil or spray on this seal, and run oil through it, it should be fine. I have a video of how to like take the slide off and stuff, and service the inside. I don't know if you can buy some of the O-rings that are inside the valve, because they're kind of like special shape and stuff. They're not just normal O-rings. But yeah, that's it for this one. Again, this is the Glock 19 Generation 3 non-blowback BB gun pistol replica from Umarex. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it, and see you next time.